The Daily Code Snippet, Superscript, Subscript, Abbreviation, blockquote, quote, cite, attribute, and cite element. Sometimes when you're writing out text, you need to make note when something is to be superscript or when something should be subscript. In order to do this with HTML language, you need to use the SUP element for superscript and the SUB element for subscript. P opening tag footnote SUP opening tag 1 SUP closing tag P closing tag would display as footnote 1. The 1 is displayed smaller and above the baseline. The chemical formula for water, P opening tag H SUB opening tag 2 SUB closing tag O P closing tag would display as H2O. The 2 would be shown smaller and below the baseline. In HTML5, the abbreviation and acronym elements were combined under the abbreviation element. But just be aware that you may see the older acronym element. When using the abbreviation element, you can add the title attribute to the opening tag. The value of the attribute is the full term. So this is an example of how this is written. Abbreviation opening tag title equals Museum of Modern Art in quotation marks MoMA abbreviation closing tag. An abbreviation opening tag with the title attribute that equals the value of Museum of Modern Art, which is the full term for the acronym MoMA, followed by the abbreviation closing tag. In order to add quotations or pull quotes, we use the blockquote element or the Q element. Blockquote is a block element, which means it would start on a new line, and it is generally used for longer quotes that might take up an entire paragraph. You may see the P element used inside of the blockquote element. The Q element is used for shorter quotes that sit within or in line in a paragraph. Browsers are supposed to add certain styling to both. For blockquote, indentation is added, and for the Q element, the addition of quotation marks is supposed to be automatic. However, this support in all browsers is inconsistent, and we have moved to adding the styling to the CSS or cascading style sheets. There are workarounds to make sure the quotation marks are present. In addition, the cite attribute is used with both to give information about the reference or source for the item being quoted. Blockquote opening tag cite attribute equals the source in quotation marks. This is a quote blockquote closing tag. An example of how to use the cite attribute with the blockquote element. The cite attribute is used to make note of the source of the quotation. When used as an attribute, the value of cite should be a URL or web address of the source. The cite element is used when stating the citation of the title of a work, such as books, other written works, artwork, music, and media. Here is an example. Here we see the blockquote opening tag that contains cite as an attribute, so its value is equal to the source URL, https://www.azquotes.com/author/8668-Tim_Berners_Lee. Then we see the text, "It's time to recognize the internet as a basic human right." That means guaranteeing affordable access for all. Then we see cite used as an element, so we have both a cite opening tag and a cite closing tag with Tim Berners-Lee, Web Index Annual Report as the citation. Then finally, we see the blockquote closing tag. Presented by Designers Learn Code.